Technobabble. Technobabble, because to somebody that's not experienced, that sounds like technobabble. They don't have a reference for what that means, and so I try not to use it when I communicate about it, because that doesn't help me practice at communicating to people who maybe are in need, but they're skeptical. And that's really where your business will blossom above and beyond every other yoga studio, because they're all marketing to the same people you're marketing to, which are the people that are already interested in yoga. It's how do you seed and plant the interest, and it's one way is not using technobabble when you talk to them about it. And so,
how do you cross that bridge so that they get like the flavor and essence of it, but without...
You got to talk about your journey and when the transition, you tell stories about when the transition was for you. So like when I talk about pranayama, it's usually like my first mystical experience of something that I couldn't explain. And I was just sitting, I had a little way that I would like pray after I finished doing some yoga and just some stretching. So I did it, and then all of a sudden I got this like vision, and it was my sister of something that happened to her, but it happened before I was born. And then I confirmed it with her that what I saw was real. And it was very moving in the moment. Like it wasn't really a happy memory, but so I cried a little bit, and then that was very impactful for me, that I couldn't explain how did I see this thing so vividly. And so that just it became a rabbit hole for me. And I was like, I need to learn more about pranayama. And since then, many things have happened also, so it keeps giving me reward in that way. And so you tell stories about like that transition point. Like when I got super into yoga, it was mostly a girl for me. Girl got me into yoga. We started dating, and so I liked it, but I was also kind of jealous because she knew all these other guys that were into yoga, and they were better at yoga than me. And so then I saw a guy who was part of that same studio who could do like a bunch of handstands, and I was like, I really want to do that. He looked so graceful doing it. His facial composure was always so good, and he was so skinny, and I couldn't understand because I was much stronger than him. And so I started modeling it after him, and just in my vain attempts, I would become curious about why this or why that, why does this ache, or how can I do this move, and I would look at YouTube, and it became another rabbit hole, and it was maybe ego-driven, but it was also, I never practiced at a studio. I just always practiced at home. For the first year, hundreds of practices just alone at home, memorizing a piece of paper. And so maybe it was ego-driven, but it was also, as they say, as yoga should be, as they say in the ancient texts of, should practice alone, in a quiet space that's full of food and free from war, and don't tell anybody about your practice either. It's a secret. And I was doing that, and not knowing that that's what they said, and so I developed very, very fast, and started having experiences very, very fast that I couldn't explain, but I'd heard about. And I'd done enough psychedelics that I was like open to the idea of like wild and crazy things that I'm not seeing that could be available. And then when it started getting validated with like the sister incident or other things of just like, it sounds weird to say like mind reading or clairvoyance or something, but like everybody has it when you text somebody and they were thinking of you right when you texted them or whatever. My sorcerer talks about there's an example of like two Aborigines meeting at a pre-planned location at the pre-planned time that they had never planned it. And so through mind.